Disclaimer, I do not dislike CinemaSins, and that is not a lie. For my next Everything Wrong with CinemaSins video, I'm going to be sending their video on the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I would like to give a thanks and dedication to Shy Fox Feather here for requesting this video. But before I begin, I want to address something. You probably remember from my Everything Wrong with CinemaSins The Emperor's New Groove video that when I said that I make these videos in defense for the movies because they're movies that I love. I'll admit that is true, but when I made my Sonic the Hedgehog video, it contradicted that since I don't actually love that movie. I do think it's really good, though. And truth be told, I do not love this movie either. Don't get me wrong, I do like it, but I'm aware that a lot of people do love this movie. But I will respect your opinions on it, as I hope you would respect mine in turn. Okay, now enjoy the video.
Opens on 14 seconds of black screen, like a dick.
Jeremy complains about the opening, as usual.
Starting your movie with a drone shot through the clouds cliche. I mean, it's impressive drone work to be sure, but it's still a cliche.
Sending something you like.
I appreciate this dramatic opening showing the cathedral at Notre Dame reaching above the clouds, but Notre Dame is not that tall, people. If it's reaching through the clouds this much, then there's a dense fog all the way down to the sidewalk, and people are getting hit by cars and walking into building facades, and it's f***ing pandemonium.
As I've said before, that doesn't happen in this movie, so you can't send it for that, and I'm going to give you 2 cents for that.
Movie Kyrie eleison throughout, but never once has the sense to Mr.
Jeremy says something random cliche.
A baby? A monster?
That's racist.
That's the point of the movie, my dude. Quasimodo is deformed, so he's initially seen as the monster.
So I might as well go ahead and add a sin for how ridiculously over-the-top Frollo is in this thing. We're 5 minutes in and he's already ready to partake in some baby drowning. Kids' movies are the freaking best.
Well, Frollo is one of the darkest villains created by Disney.
These are the judgiest sculptures to have ever been sculpted. Hey Pierre, could you do some sculptures for the front of the cathedral? Sure. Can you make sure every one of them rain condemnation with their gaze to a very specific spot on the cathedral stairs? You got it, boss.
How is that a sin of this movie?
Will today be the day? Are you ready to fly?
Pushy parents.
I'd say that was encouragement, not pushiness.
Pour the wine and cut the cheese.
Gregarious gargoyle gabs glibly about gastrointestinal gas while gasping for Grape's great guardian.
Critic conceptually complains corresponding clowning commonly.
It is a treat to watch the colorful pageantry of the simple peasant folk.
This is what Disney Parks bosses say every day as they watch people pour in.
Jeremy says something random cliche.
Snot blocking.
Pointing things out on the screen.
Are the talking gargoyles ever explained? It's not like there was a spell cast by a witch somewhere to turn statues into friendly tower-dwelling folks. This movie is mostly magic-free except for these f***ing stone gargoyles.
Actually, Esmeralda is also magical, as evidenced by scenes like this one.
Oh, he lives in an attic. He's made a miniature town. He's an outcast. Just wants to be part of their world. Honestly, 30% of all animated Disney flicks are about an outcast who wants to be part of the world. The rest are princesses that want to be normal and people stuck in a rut that need a jump-starting adventure. Literally all animated Disney movies fit into one of those 3 categories.
How is that something wrong with this movie or in general?
Playing Dunk the Monk.
Pop quiz. Playing Dunk the Monk refers to A, what Steve Wiebe told his family he was doing.
Next.
Yes, sneak out and yes, sneak back in.
It continues to baffle me to this day why Disney tried to happify what is at best a f***ing dark-ass story.
Because all Disney movies end on good notes, which you are for some reason unaware of when you said this in the Princess and the Frog video.
So even if they get turned back to humans, Tiana's probably back to square one. And now I wish I could get a Disney movie that ended on such a dour note. That shit seemed to happen all the time back in the 80s. Yep, I was right. He is literally now singing a song about wanting to be part of the world he is not currently allowed to be part of. Disney is lazy, y'all.
Yeah, there were some similarities with this song and Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid, but Quasimodo didn't have to go through any magic to leave the cathedral. And I'm also going to give you 100 cents, not just for calling Disney lazy, but for every other insult I've heard you give Disney.
Man, most of this song is about all the shit he's rear window spying on from his tower. Quasi just said he can see them through the roofs and gables, which means he spends his days window gazing and down blousing. And honestly, Quasi, how's the peeping? Quasi.
Jeremy says something random by making the same pop culture reference used in the Princess and the Frog video.
Mickey, how's the peeping? Mickey, how's the peeping? Mickey. Also, he sings Just One Day, and I Swear I'll Be Content, and I had a roommate that said that once about his favorite porn star, and yada yada yada. He's in jail now.
Jeremy says something random again.
Because this is a movie, Quasimodo immediately finds himself in the middle of everything, because of course he does.
Well, in a lot of movies, things the characters run into move the story along.
By the way, great mask.
This is the single most hurtful thing said in the history of cinema.
But that wasn't intended to be hurtful, as Esmeralda didn't know that Quasimodo wasn't actually wearing a mask.
She danced sexy and literally used a pole to swing on, and then when she finished, everyone threw money at her. So how is this festival not just a glorified strip club?
Because there was no stripping there, and this kind of movie is not going to have that.
Does everyone go to the Topsy-Turvy Festival with fresh tomatoes in their pocket? Jesus Christ, they should call this the Tomato Festival.
Actually, the tomatoes came from Hammerspace.
And all the tomato throwers also conveniently brought noose lassos.
Yes.
Having been in a huge crowd multiple times, there's no way this huge crowd would be this silent, even if they were shocked by Esmeralda's approach to Quasimodo. We threw coins at you when you danced sexily, but your humanity we will observe quietly for no cost.
The crowd is shocked because Esmeralda is helping who they currently see as the monster.
Gotta stay one jump ahead of the bread line.
Jeremy sings something that isn't a sin cliche.
Considering you're in a church, I'd almost forgive the overcandling, but also forgiveness. Also, hey, Father, what's my job today? Ready the sacred wine? Prepare the holy text? You're on candle duty today, kid.
Pointing things out on the screen.
Oh, I didn't know you had a kid.
Womp womp.
Not a sin there, my dude.
Sniff a salt. Her name's Esmeralda, not Esmersmelda. Who the wrote this? It's terrible. It's awful. I demand to know who the hell wrote that.
You did!
I don't believe you.
How are you unaware of what you do behind your videos?
Kids. See, when I do it, it's funny.
See what I said 2 sins ago.
Climb down?
Sure. You carry him, I carry you.
Okay.
That's all the convincing it took for her to be willing to climb down the face of the Notre Dame Cathedral?
Yeah, so what's the problem? Esmeralda is a brave character.
I can't play it, but I'm going to be real with you because you deserve it. The music in this movie sucks. It may be even worse than Phantom.
I'm going to give you 100 sins for saying that the songs in this movie suck, and another one for the fact that your opinion is not something wrong with the movie.
He sings this burning desire is turning me to sin because he legitimately thinks he's an otherwise sinless person. It's almost
This is another one of those cases of Jeremy sinning something he likes.
Oh, that immolated quickly.
Okay, so how is that a sin?
This is the end.
Jeremy sings something that isn't a sin cliche.
I thought I was the cute one.
No, you're the fat, stupid one with the big mouth.
These gargoyles are perhaps the most annoying Disney sidekicks to ever kick sides, and they are about to sing a terrible song with suddenly appearing props. And believe me when I say, with utmost sincerity, skip.
Really? Their song A Guy Like You is a nice song, and the gargoyles are not annoying. When are you going to get that your opinion is not a problem with the film?
I was okay with the deck of cards earlier, but where did the full casino table with rake and chips come from? A second ago, dude used curled wood shavings as hair, but now who needs to use things around them when we can blink like Genie and have whatever props we want?
Quasimodo was imagining this during the song, my dude.
I don't understand. Why is she kissing him? He's not shaped like a bagel or a muffin.
They've fallen in love after she saved him from drowning.
What? It's the city.
What are you talking about?
It's a map.
Right, but a pretty awful one. Even if you assume it's to scale, at best you have a general area to look at. Now that I look at it, it's nowhere near where the clitoris is. So, wait, what were we talking about again?
We were talking about the location of the Gypsy Sanctuary.
I realize they think these two are spies, but they're going to hang them?
Yes.
There'll be a little bonfire in the square tomorrow, and you're all invited to attend.
He then tells the guards to take Quasi away, and it cuts directly to the bonfire in the square the next day. Just jumps over 24 whole hours. Why even have him say the word tomorrow?
I'm pretty sure this is supposed to represent a few hours, and they'd also need time to get set up.
We're over an hour into this, and I've yet to see Touchdown Jesus or anyone lose a bowl game, so I'm not sure a movie knows how to Notre Dame correctly.
Notre Dame Stadium does not appear in this movie.
The sentence? Death.
Little known fact, this movie holds the Guinness World Record for most consecutive execution scenes in a family film. And they don't just hand those things out willy-nilly, you know.
Even though Frollo is implied to have killed people, we don't see it on screen.
Quasimodo in his final form. Do you see?
Jeremy says something random cliche.
Man, I would remove all the sins from every movie ever if he threw her over the balcony right now like a wrestling move.
Wishing Quasimodo killed Esmeralda. That's worth 65 sins. 3 syllables. Fantasy.
Also, how big was that bowl? No, I mean the one that I must have smoked to think any of this makes the slightest bit of sense.
This big.
Also, this is likely to kill more innocent people than soldiers, and I'm beginning to think Quasi is exactly the monster the movie tried so hard to convince me he wasn't.
Yeah, it's possible, but no one died, so why is this a sin? And here's the end result, everybody. The sin total was 534, and the sentence will be hellfire. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a nice day.